Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another episode in Buddhist meditation series. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the hindrances for your meditations. Now, when we talk about the meditation, one of the basic things and one of the most important things that we are focusing in the meditation is to be mindful and to be focused and to be concentrated. But when we are doing in meditation, when we are doing it practically, there are some obstacles that we face during this course. So these are sort of thoughts which arises inside your mind, which keeps you away from the concentration and the focus and tranquility, and most importantly, the enthusiasm of your meditation. Right? So we need to learn about these thoughts, and we need to learn how to stay away from these distractive and destructive thoughts for the meditation. Our great teacher, Supreme Buddha, taught us there are 5 hindrances for the meditation. So these are sort of thoughts actually. These are not external things which disrupts your concentration and disrupt your focus in meditation. All these things are generated inside your mind. They are thoughts. So being their thoughts, we can control them, right? We cannot control the external situations, external experiences that we can face during the meditation, right? But we can control the thoughts that are inside our mind. So what are these 5 hindrances? The first hindrance is known as kama chanda. Kama chanda means the sensual desire. For an example, when you are doing meditation, sometimes our mind wanders in the thoughts which are connected to lustful experiences. It may be an experience that we had, like we had some delicious food, we were thinking about delicious food, maybe a nice movie that was watched in last week. Right? If our mind wanders in these lustful thoughts, normally our concentration is destroyed. We lose our focus in meditation, right? So, lustful thoughts or the sensual desire, this sensual craving is a hindrance for our meditation, right? That is the first hindrance. Number 2, Supreme Buddha said, the second hindrance is vyapada. What do you mean by vyapada? Vyapada means the ill will or the anger. If you sat down for the meditation with anger, can you do the meditation for a long time? No. Your mind will be distracted, your mind will be scattered, and also, you feel that inner heat and inner anger that is building up inside you. When you build up inner anger, this aversion inside you, you cannot meditate. Your mind is not ready for the meditation. So we need to avoid the anger also when we are doing the meditation. Number 3, Supreme Buddha said, Thina middha. Now, this is one of the most common hindrances that arise during the meditation for many people. What is that? Dullness and the drowsiness. That means the sleepiness or laziness that arises inside our mind. Most of the time, when we start meditation and when we are doing the meditation for a little while, many of us feel sleepy. Actually, all of the people who are starting the meditation go through this situation. But that is quite normal. So if you need to stop this dullness and drowsiness or sleepiness during meditation, there's another video that is done by us. So you can check out that that describes about how to stop the sleepiness during the meditation. So sleepiness also a hindrance for the meditation and for the concentration of your meditation. And then, fourth one, Supreme Buddha said, Uddacha Kukkucha. That means restlessness and the remorse. So, restlessness and remorse is a mental condition. That means when you regret about something that has happened in the past, normally what happens to your mind? Your mind gets scattered, right? It gets restless. So, if you're constantly thinking and regretting about the things that have happened in the past, when you're doing meditation, you have run out of the focus. You are out of the meditation. So that is also a hindrance for the meditation. And number 5, Supreme Buddha said, Vichikicha is a hindrance. That means the doubt, the skeptical doubt is a hindrance for your meditation. Right? That means if you are constantly doubting about yourself, whether I'm doing it right or not, right? Am I doing it correctly? Am I in the correct path of meditation? If you're doubting about yourself during the meditation, you cannot meditate for a long time because you don't find any enthusiasm or you don't find the joy of the meditation. So these are the 5 hindrances for our meditation. They are Kamachanda, the sensual desire, Vyapada, the anger, the aversion that is built up inside our mind. And then we have Tinamidda, the dullness and the drowsiness or sleepiness, Uddacha Kukkucha, restlessness and remorse, and Vichikicha, doubting. So if you can stay away from these 5 hindranceful thoughts during the meditation, your meditation will be more peaceful and more enjoyable, right? So, how we can stop these 5 hindrances? How we can stay away from these 5 hindranceful thoughts? Well, our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us as the first step, if you need to stay away from these 5 hindrances, you need to be aware of your thoughts. You need to be mindful about your thoughts, right? That means it's like a gate to your thought. And there's a gatekeeper in front of that gate, right? So what is the job of a gatekeeper? He is responsible for the people who are going through the gate and coming out of the gate, right? Then, if that gatekeeper keeps an eye upon the people who are coming in and going out, he can detect who are the good people and who are the bad people. Same like that, if you can be mindful, if you can be aware of your thoughts, then you can detect what are the good thoughts, what are the hindranceful thoughts that is coming to my mind, right? So, when you are doing meditation, for an example, all of a sudden, it is quite normal when we are doing the meditation, it's quite normal. These hindranceful thoughts will come to our mind. Then, as the first step, what we need to do is we need to detect these thoughts, right? For an example, if a lustful thought came to your mind, then you have to know, this is a lustful thought. Then you need to use your wisdom. What is that? This is not what should I think about now. Now I am doing the meditation. When you be aware and when you detect the thoughts, there is a big probability for that thought to fade away from your mind because you become aware of that, right? Most of the hindranceful thoughts, these thoughts, are arising because of the unawareness, right? We are not becoming mindful about our thoughts. So as the first step, You need to detect these thoughts and you need to constantly remember to yourself, this is not the meditation and this is not what I should think now. Then you need to take back your scattered mind, your unfocused mind, bring back to the meditation again. And when you're doing the meditation for a little while, again what will happen? Again, the nature of the mind is to wander around these 5 thoughts. So once you become aware of these thoughts, bring back your scattered mind again to the meditation. If you're constantly doing this, there will be one day that you get used to be in the meditation, your mind gets used to be in the meditation rather than wandering here and there in these 5 thoughts. Because meditation is more peaceful than these 5 thoughts. Normally we chase behind these thoughts because we find some pleasure and we find some enjoy in these thoughts. But remember, rather than being in these 5 thoughts, these hindrance-ful thoughts, it is much more tranquilized and much more peaceful if your mind stayed in the meditation and if your mind becomes concentrated. So you need to have a big desire to be in the meditation, right? Not to wander in these 5 thoughts. So these are the hindrances that disrupt your meditation and disrupt your concentration in the meditation. So you need to be aware and you need to be away from these thoughts while doing the meditation. If you can stay away from these 5 thoughts, you will have a wonderful and peaceful and more enjoyable meditation in your life. So stay away from these 5 thoughts, try harder and enjoy a peaceful and a perfect meditation in your life. Namo Buddhaya.